Hey guys, welcome to the remaining Halo installations. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the details of all the remaining Halo installations in the newest array. In total, there have been 2 arrays created, but I'm talking about the newest array that contains 8 installations, 7 rings, and the Ark. So without further ado, let's get into it. Installation 00, the Lesser Ark. Present in Halo 3, the Lesser Ark is the smaller of 2 Arks, the other one being the Greater Ark, and acts as a conservation facility for the preservation of species and also a life worker research station. It also serves as a site for the construction of Halo rings and allows for the remote activation of the entire array. It has one known monitor, which is 000 Tragic Solitude. It's located in intergalactic space and was constructed between 101,000 BCE and 100,000 BCE. Installation 00 was severely damaged at the end of Halo 3 when the Allies destroyed Installation 04B. Its weather systems went into turmoil and it became extremely volatile, and the firing of 04B killed most plantation that wouldn't have survived on the Lesser Ark. Installation 00 is currently under UNSC control and has multiple research facilities based on it that study the Sentinels. Researchers hope to soon be able to command the Sentinels to continue repairing the Ark. Installation 01. Beta Halo. Beta Halo has never really had too much spoken about it in any Halo game or media, so we don't exactly know much about it unfortunately. What we do know is that it's mostly a desert-like landscape and serves as a site for the containment, research and galactic sterilization of the Flood, just like the rest of the array. It has one known monitor, whose name we only know to be 001. It's located somewhere within the Milky Way and was created sometime before 100,000 BCE. During the Human Covenant War, as we know, the entire array was put into standby mode, but Chief and Arbiter managed to deactivate it on Installation 00 after killing Truth, therefore deactivating Installation 01 along with the rest of the array. Installation 02, EPSILON Halo. Again, not much is really known about EPSILON Halo, aside from the fact that it's mainly ocean, with some outcroppings of rocks for terrain. It serves the same purpose as the entire array, which is sterilization, containment and research for the Flood. And it also has one known monitor that may actually be a small Easter egg in fact, as the only thing we know about it is that it's called Monitor 007. Installation 02 is located within the Milky Way and was created, like most of the Halo rings, before 100,000 BCE. Like all the other rings also, Truth put it on standby during the Human Covenant War, but Chief and Arbiter deactivated after killing him. Installation 03, Gamma Halo. Present mostly in Halo 4 and Escalation, Gamma Halo, like all the rings, acts as a Flood containment and research station, whilst also allowing for galactic sterilization when fired. The terrain is made up of large deserts with large volcanic activity, and its monitor is 049 Abject Testament. Installation 03 used to be located in the Carfrey system, and was created sometime before 100,000 BCE. After being deactivated during the Human Covenant War, the Ivanov station was built in its orbit, and was used to study artifacts retrieved from the ring. Installation 03 was where the Didact killed Black Team, and also where Blue Team located the Composer's Abyss, where composed victims are stored. At the end of the Abyss is a portal, which leads directly to the Composer's Forge, where composers are actually produced. After Blue Team successfully defeated the Didact on Installation 03, 859 Static Carillon detached part of the ring containing the control room, which severely damaged it. However, it somehow managed to keep its structural integrity. The fragment intentionally hit the Composer's Forge, which destroyed it, and the Static Carillon took the ring to an unknown location for repairs. Installation 05, Delta Halo. Being one of the main focal points of Halo 2, Installation 05 was once, like all the other rings, a Flood containment and research zone. However, there have since been multiple containment breaches. It has varied terrain, going from lakes, jungles and canyons, to ice and snow-filled caves, and cliffsides present at the quarantine zone. The monitor for Installation 05 is 2401 Penitent Tangent. Installation 05 currently orbits Substance, a gas giant in the Coalesced system, and was constructed in 97,445 BCE. As I mentioned before, there have been a few containment breaches on Delta Halo, the first of which occurred over 200 years after its production, and was due to Penitent Tangent's negligence of containment protocols. The outbreak quickly grew out of control, and the Flood ended up forming a Gravemind. However, they never managed to get past the Sentinel Wall, which was built around the library, which is where they were trapped. This area became known as the Quarantine Zone. Skip forward a very long time to the events of Halo 2, and the Arbiter follows his orders to deactivate the containment shield in the Sentinel Wall, which allows the flood to finally escape the quarantine zone and begin spreading like a wildfire. After the events of Halo 2, the remaining Sangheili ships in orbit of Installation 05 were ordered by the Arbiter to glass the flood-infested parts of the ring, to make sure the flood could not leave the coalesced system. After the Human Covenant War, Oni established the Lisbon Station in the ring's orbit, which is used as a staging point for UNSC research and artifact retrieval units. Many settings on the ring are also used for wargames. For example, the Halo 5 maps Orion and Pegasus are based off strange structures that Oni discovered randomly appearing all over Installation 05. As you'd expect, the ring is currently under UNSC quarantine. Installation 06. KAPPA Halo. Another ring that we sadly know little about. KAPPA Halo serves the same flood containment, research and stabilisation purposes as the other rings. Its terrain seems to be fairly rocky, with tundras and forests scattered around. It has one known monitor, Monitor 16807. It's located in the Milky Way and was constructed at roughly the same time as the other rings, sometime before 100,000 BCE. Like all the other Halo rings, it was activated by Truth and then subsequently deactivated by Chief and Arbiter during the Human Covenant War. And finally, Installation 07. ZETA Halo. Installation 07 serves the same function as the rest of the array, but has many distinct differences. It was constructed by the greater arc, not the lesser arc like the other rings, so was 3 times bigger when constructed, coming in at 30,000 kilometers instead of 10,000. Its monitor is Monitor 117649. ZETA Halo is located somewhere within the Milky Way and was constructed around 98,445 BCE as a part of the original 11 installation array. During the Forerunner Flood War, Faber, the Master Builder, used Installation 07 as a site for the inhumane experiments he conducted on humans to test for cures for the Flood. The humans came to know the various Flood research facilities where these experiments were carried out as the Palaces of Pain. Also during this time, the ring was part of the original array of 11 rings, which was under the control of the one and only Mendicant Bias. Around 60 years after these experiments began, Mendicant Bias was ordered to test fire the ring, which ultimately led to the Primordial, who was a gravemind left behind by the precursors to escape his imprisonment. This eventually led to a flood outbreak on Installation 07, and Mendicant Bias's eventual defection to the Flood after being infected with the Logic Plague by the Primordial. This outbreak led to Faber creating the Composer to try and halt the Flood spreading. After a rebellion triggered by his inhumane experimentation, Faber was arrested by the Forerunner Council. During his trial at Maithrillion, which was the political centre of the Forerunners at the time, ZETA Halo appeared in the sky, controlled by Mendicant Bias. Bornsteller, who is also known as the Isodidact, ordered Maithrillion's defences to attack the ring, damaging it. However, Mendicant fired the ring, which wiped out all life in the Maithrillion system. Eventually, the 2/3 of the ring were shred into space to save power so the ring could escape Bornsteller through a portal, which ultimately led to the Greater Arc. Skipping forward a very long time to the Human Covenant War, the ring was activated and then subsequently deactivated along with the rest of the array. In 2555, Oni began the ZETA Halo project, where many scientists from varying fields were sent to research the ring. 2 of these scientists, MANN and Henry Lamb, discovered a timer that they concluded to be a countdown to Installation 07's activation in 5 weeks. This led to a joint UNSC and Sangheili operation to the Ark, which did ultimately stop the activation. When it comes to talking about the current status of Installation 07, there's a lot of mixed information. Some sources believe that Installation 07 was glassed by the Swords of Sanghelios, whereas catalogue entries from 2014 state multiple times that the Swords of Sanghelios and UNSC naval authorities hold adequate containment and stabilisation protocols within infected areas. If this is true, then there is still flood active on ZETA Halo, it's just contained. However, as we know and as we've learnt from this video, containments can always be breached. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned something. If you did learn something, please leave a like down below to show your support, and in the comments down below, I want you to discuss which Halo ring you think that we saw in the Halo 5 Legendary ending. Right now, we have pretty much no information on that, so it's all speculation, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. Next video will be up in the next couple of days, and that will be a discussion as to why the Master Chief's armor changed between Halo 3 and Halo 4. It's going to be an interesting video, and I hope you'll look forward to it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you then.